what is the point in going out and socializing with women, cold approaching women in the day, in the night, if this pursuit was just about hooking up with girls? Well, those experiences are going to come and go, and it's not progressing your life, say financially. It's not necessarily progressing your life in your relationships with friends or family, other than you're going to be making friends when you're out. So then what is this pursuit worth if 10 years down the road, what do you have to show for it other than maybe you ended up hooking up with some girls, and maybe those girls weren't even girls that you were really that interested in? Would it be worth it if you were in the same place that you are now 10 years into the future? Would it really be worth it? What is this pursuit worth? What is it that you're really getting out of this other than hooking up with women potentially? Because that's not even a guarantee there even. Well, for me, it's more of a way to challenge myself, challenge my securities, my insecurities, challenge my fears, worries, become better at socializing, ideally meeting the kinds of women that truly excite you, and then having meaningful relationships with those women. That would be some of the goals there. On top of that, discipline, self-control, not being inhibited by social pressure, the judgment of others, realizing that yes, some people are not going to have a favorable opinion about you, but then you will meet people that you do get along with. You will meet people that will appreciate the value that you have to bring. So what that teaches you is that it's okay for people to have an opinion about you, and it doesn't affect you. You learn to care more about your own opinion. You learn to validate yourself. So then you're cultivating characteristics that are going to last you a lifetime. These are the things that you're developing. This endeavor is more than just hooking up with women. If it was just about hooking up with women, it probably wouldn't be worth it. Because that's something that isn't really in your control. So what's more in your control is your actions. So then focusing on qualities, skills, and characteristics that you are building that will last you for the rest of your life. Those are the things that you can take with you forever. Some of those things would be being able to make yourself take action regardless of the emotional blockages that you have. Putting yourself into high stress situations that maybe from an external standpoint might not seem that stressful. But for you, whatever that is, you're always looking to push your comfort zone. You're always looking to find that edge of your comfort zone, and you're looking to push past that. Not being inhibited by social pressure, social judgments, and learning to look to yourself as the authority in your own life. Learning to give yourself permission. Not looking to others to give you permission. Becoming a leader for yourself and perhaps for others at some point. Being able to make the attempt and go after the things that you want rather than not trying because you are afraid of failure. You're afraid of the judgments of others. So then you are stuck. You're stuck. You're stifled and unable to take action because you're more concerned about the opinions of others rather than the opinion that you hold of yourself. So these are some of the things that you're cultivating. Once you can get out there and learn to go after what you want and stop caring about the social pressure that is present when you are out there and looking to talk to girls that you are truly attracted to and that would be meaningful for you to approach, instead of worrying about the rejection or whether someone likes you or not, you start caring more about your own opinion of yourself. You start caring more about living a life that is meaningful and fulfilling for you, whatever that might be. And some people, maybe they don't struggle in this area. Some people might look at this kind of a pursuit and it might not be something that they find much value in it. And that's okay. There's levels to everything. Some people, maybe they're just looking to get one girlfriend, have a wife, maybe have some kids. The simple life. Or perhaps you're somebody that wants to get out there and meet lots of different people, maybe have different kinds of relationships, whether those relationships are intimate relationships and of a sexual nature, or whether you're just getting to know people and exploring your options and seeing what's out there, and as well as challenging yourself socially. This challenges you socially, this will challenge you physically, mentally, in all ways. And you can treat this like something of a athletic endeavor. You can watch your nutrition. You can be reading books outside of this, outside of socializing. You can be educating yourself in all different areas of life. You can be working on your finances. You can be improving in that area as well. So just because you're out there trying to date and meet women and socialize doesn't mean that you have to neglect these other areas of your life. So that requires you then to, now you're developing things like scheduling, time management. You start to appreciate your time more. You realize that there isn't an infinite amount of hours in the day, and that if you aren't watching your time, your how you spend your time, how you spend your money, if you're not watching these things, then you are not going to accomplish your goals, because you're going to be living sporadically. You're going to do this. You're going to do one thing sometimes. You're going to neglect other areas of your life. You're going to take a burst of action here and then take a bunch of time off. But the way that you improve in this, and like anything else, this isn't something that you either have or you don't. Like any skill game, you have to keep getting out there on a daily basis and pushing yourself. Whatever you did yesterday is not going to help you today, every single day. Just like showing up to the gym. You got to get to the gym. You got to push weights every single day. Or most days you're going to take rest days, but even those, when you're taking those rest days, that is time for you to then fuel your body so that you're strong and you've recovered to get back out there and put in your maximal amount of effort. And then there's strategies, and there's better lifting methods, and there's better foods that you can eat, and there's strategy, and there's ways that you can schedule your days. You have to figure these things out. But just the same as in socializing, you get out there one day, you push through the fear, you push through the emotional blockages, the barriers, the insecurities that you might have, and you go and you make the attempt. And you talk to some people that you don't know. You're the center of attention, and you hold your frame under that pressure. Or maybe you don't, and you fail, and you feel embarrassed. Maybe you feel awkward. Maybe you feel like you've failed, and you have all these different kinds of emotions that go through your mind. You feel like a loser. That's okay. That's also part of this game. is exposing yourself to these challenging emotions, to these challenging situations where it does test you and it does exhaust your mind. You can learn better speaking skills. You can learn better ways to communicate. You can learn to exercise projecting your personality and expressing yourself more freely, because that's something that a lot of people struggle with as well. If anybody is saying that this is something that's just some simple endeavor, or maybe it's not a worthwhile pursuit, well, that's for you to decide, because there's many different pursuits in life and many different ways to challenge yourself and grow as a human being. But this pursuit is not unlike any other pursuit. You're growing as a human being. If you're looking at it as a way to develop yourself and become better, there's levels to this like there is in anything else. You're looking for those challenging situations. You're looking to test yourself. You're looking to push your comfort zone. This takes effort. This takes work like anything else. You got to drive out to the spot. You got to get out. You got to walk around. You got to make yourself go and talk to people. You got to use your energy and express yourself. You got to learn how to communicate and understand where the other person's coming from. You learn to pick up on body language and facial cues, tonality of voice. Just like if you're in the CIA, or maybe you're a negotiations expert, you have to learn better ways to talk to people and communicate, just like in sales, just like in marketing. There is a skill to this. There is strategy. There is better ways than others to present yourself. And even there's a skill to conveying your personality and showing the value that you do offer. So there is a skill to this. This is an endeavor that will never be complete. There's always another level that you can take it. You can take it as far as you like. That's why I find it to be an engaging pursuit and something that never gets boring, because every single day is a new day. You're getting out to bars, you're getting out to clubs, you're out in the day, and there is that resistance. Everybody feels that resistance because it's a mechanism in our brain, a defense mechanism to either keep us safe or to protect us from threats, which when we're entering into social interactions with people that we've never met before, sometimes our brain interprets that as potential threats. So then it's going to tell you, it's going to come up with all these excuses and reasons why you shouldn't approach. As well as then there's status games in life. And maybe you feel like you're at a certain level in regards to somebody else. So then you have to overcome this. And you have to learn to have a new belief in yourself. You have to develop a new self-concept that you are the kind of guy that can live that kind of life, that can go after the kind of girls that you want to go after, the job that you want to have, the kind of money you want to make. And everybody's starting at different levels in life. Maybe some people, they didn't struggle as much in the social aspect of their life. Then there's others that maybe that is something that's difficult for them. So they're starting at a different place. Some people want to have one girlfriend, some people want to have many girlfriends. There is no right and wrong. It's up to you. You decide. You are the arbiter of your own life. You decide what's right for you. You decide what's meaningful. And this pursuit will challenge you in many ways, and it's not easy. And cold approach is a great way to challenge yourself. A lot of it's just about putting yourself out there and feeling that social pressure and learning to handle that. You're not going to hook up with every girl that you talk to, but that's not necessarily the point, because it's just not going to work out like that. The skill is, can you keep yourself approaching? Can you develop the ability to control your own emotional state of mind, regardless of the feedback that you're getting from people in the environment? Not everyone's going to accept you. Not everyone's going to like you, but you keep yourself going. You learn to give yourself recognition. You learn to be your own best friend. You learn to be independent and rely on yourself. You learn self-trust. And you get yourself out there and you keep taking action and meeting new people until you find your tribe, until you find those people that do want to take something somewhere with you. And it will happen. The skill is, can you keep yourself approaching? Get out there, make yourself have a good time. Take control of your emotions, take control of your life. You're not a victim. You're not waiting for things to come to you. You're a proactive force now in your own life. This is what you're developing. These are the things that you're cultivating in so-called game, which is just called socializing and getting out there. Learning to give value to the environment by being the person you want to be, expressing yourself the way you would like to express yourself. Being uninhibited in the environment, even though that is not as easy as it's said. And every single day you get out there and you challenge yourself again. And this is something that just becomes a part of your life. When you're out shopping, you see an attractive lady. Can you make yourself approach? Can you go? Can you make the attempt? And sometimes you're not going to do it. You're going to succumb to the social pressure. You're going to succumb to the judgments, the perceived judgments from the people in the environment. But what that does is that it frustrates you and it disappoints you. And then you're going to start to care more about taking those opportunities and fulfilling your own desires, goals, aspirations in life. And you're going to care more about your own fulfillment than the opinion of somebody that you don't even know. But realize too that these are defense mechanisms. They are there to help you. Everybody experiences these things. It's also, what are your goals in this pursuit? So you might want to play the field. You might want to meet a lot of women. You might want to travel. You might want to make money, and you don't want to settle down with any one girl at this time, maybe ever. These are different ways to live life. And it's something for you to have to decide how you want to live it. But don't just follow the opinions of others or social narratives or what is normal in life. There is no normal. It doesn't exist. Live the way you want to live. And that's what this teaches you, is to be unapologetic about your wants and your desires, to look to yourself for authority. Realize that you are the authority. Nobody else is the authority. When you go walk into a set, you're not concerned about some other guy there or whether there's another adult there. You are the adult. You are the authority. And there's no reason why you can't go up and make conversation, talk to people, express yourself, have a good time, laugh, develop the ability to make people laugh or add value, whether it's just with good conversation, banter, and be respectful and leave if they would rather not want to continue the social interaction with you. That's fine too. But there's a lot of people out there that are wanting to have fun, that are just like you, but maybe they're not challenging themselves to be social. Maybe they don't even realize that that's something that they can grow in. Do you have a growth mindset, or do you have a static mindset where you think that you can't change? That however you're born, that's just the way it is. Well, I don't believe that, because I've made a lot of progress in many different areas of my life. And I think that if you put proactive attention into any endeavor, you can get better at it, just like anything else. And socializing is no different. So it's not about just getting out there and you see a girl and it's either you either hooked up with her or you don't, and that's your criteria for success. No, the fact that you just made the attempt is something that you can give yourself recognition for. The fact that you made the attempt and you went up there and you gave yourself that opportunity is something that you can be proud of. This is what you're looking at. And then when you leave that interaction, can you keep yourself in a positive state of mind and then go into the next one with a clean slate and try again? And when you have the ability to do this, this is when eventually you are going to meet a girl where you guys vibe and you end up taking it somewhere. That will happen, and it's no different than anything else. But it takes patience, and you got to realize too that you got to focus on all the other valuable aspects of this pursuit and not just focus on the end result. It's about the person that you become. It's about being the kind of guy that can go up into any situation and make the attempt, talking to the types of girls that you want to meet under any circumstances, rather than being inhibited or controlled by social pressure, judgments from others, negative feedback, emotional barriers, insecurities. You have to overcome all that stuff. And when you do that, which maybe it never goes away, but you're the type of guy that can take action in the face of these types of challenges. And there's always a new challenge. Every day is a new day. You're only as good as how you perform today. And if you stop, you stagnate, you fall back. You got to keep on it. That's why, again, you got to learn time management skills. You got to set your days up and be disciplined so that you can sustain this consistently over an indefinite period of time, however long you'd like to. But that's what it's about, putting in the time and making sure that you're being consistent in your actions. And you can master this area of your life just like anybody else. This is a learnable skill. Sometimes it comes easier for others. Some people maybe have different advantages. But the great thing about men is we're not just judged on our looks, we're judged on characteristics and qualities as well. So you can compensate for a lack in one area, and there's many different attractive qualities that you can develop. At the end of the day, can you make yourself do the approach? If there's nothing stopping you from doing that, then there's no excuses. But you got to keep challenging yourself, and you have to keep pushing yourself to get into situations that get you out of your comfort zone. On top of that, you can learn different kinds of strategies and communication, better ways to communicate, better ways to present yourself, learning how to be uninhibited and express yourself and just state your opinions regardless of disagreements that you may have. And you're searching for those people that you do resonate with, that you do get along with. But you're not going to get along with everyone. You're not going to resonate with everyone. But that's part of the game. You have to accept that. People that aren't pushing themselves in this area, they just go along with what everyone else says. They don't challenge people or different opinions and things like that. They don't even have their own opinions. And those people probably aren't living the life that they would truly like to live. Because again, they're scared, they're living in fear, they're inhibited. And this is what this teaches you when you get out there and you put yourself into the fire, into those situations where now you're putting the pressure on yourself, that evolutionary pressure. That's how you're going to grow. That's how you're going to live the life that you want to live. You have to develop a work ethic. You have to, the better foods that you eat, the better you take care of yourself, all of these things are going to increase your odds. What you do outside a game is just as important. And of course, learning from others, getting coaches, getting mentors. Why not? Why not in this field just like anything else? That's how you accelerate your learning. Get around people that support you. Support yourself first and foremost, but then take your learning into your own hands and get around people that want to see you succeed. That are into the same things that you're into, to normalize this kind of behavior. Like they say, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around with the most. So that being said, again, my name's Adam. I offer 30-minute phone calls, strategy calls for free at this time. Take advantage of that. If this is something that you want to take further in your life, if this is something that you want to reach the highest levels in, and you want to have an amazing dating life with lots of different options and be socially uninhibited and free from the judgments and the pressures from others and from society, and break out of that so that you too can get the kinds of women that you want and the dating life you want and the friends that you want and the money you want, and fulfill those dreams that you have for yourself, hit me up. Email me at datingdestruction@gmail.com. and we'll set up one of those strategy calls for you. As well, I do Infield trainings. And again, you can inquire at datingdestruction@gmail.com. But otherwise, like the video and subscribe to my channel. Let's go on this journey together. Let's support one another. And until next time, peace out, my friends.